Hello students, last time we have dealt with the loss of radioactive disintegration and today we will be dealing that what the units we can use to represent this rate of radioactive disintegration. So that is our today's topic. We are to discuss units of radioactivity. As we have discussed last time that rather than the total amount of the radioactive substance, the important term in this loss of radioactive disintegration is how many number of nuclei are present which are going to participate in the phenomena of radioactivity. And this number of nuclei or number of atoms which disintegrate in the unit time is termed as the activity of that radioactive substance, or in the easier term we can use the rate of decay or the number of disintegration per second for this radioactivity representation. The different units that we can use for this rate of radioactive disintegration or the term radioactivity are Rutherford's Curie, and the SI unit of this radioactivity is becquerel. So we will study these units one by one, and the very first unit is Rutherford. This Rutherford unit is represented by the symbol small r and small d. And to define this Rutherford unit, we take the amount of radioactive substance which undergoes 10 power 6 disintegration per second. Then this amount of radioactive substance which shows 10 power 6 disintegration per second is termed as 1 Rutherford. Same as if I am to define the another radioactive unit, that is Curie, then this Curie is represented by the symbol Ci, and to define this Curie unit we take that much amount of radioactive substance which disintegrates with a rate of 3.7 into 10 power 10. So that is the value for this unit Curie. And if I talk about the SI unit of this radioactivity, then the SI unit of this radioactivity is becquerel. To represent this unit becquerel, we use the symbol BQ, and it is defined as that amount of radioactive substance which shows 1 disintegration per second. So these are the three radioactive units, and these three can be interconverted. If we are given the rate of radioactive disintegration in the unit Rutherford, and if I am to convert this rate of radioactive disintegration from Rutherford to becquerel, then we can do this by using the interconversion units, and the relationship between these three is 1 Curie, that is 1 Ci, is equals to 3.7 into 10 power 4 Rutherford, and this value is equals to 3.7 into 10 power 10 becquerel. So if the rate of radioactive disintegration is given in Curie, by multiplying the given rate from the value 3.7 into 10 power 4, we will be getting the rate of radioactive disintegration in Rutherford, and if we multiply this value with the value 3.7 into 10 power 10, we will be getting the rate of radioactive disintegration in the unit becquerel. So these are the units of radioactivity. Now based on the things, or based on the law of radioactive disintegration, we will be doing some numerical practice. And the very first question that is provided to us is like, so this is the very first problem that is provided to us, and here if I consider the given values, and then the given thing is about the half-life period of the radioactive substance. So this is the given value. Here they have provided us the value of T half or half-life, and the value for this value of half-life for this radioactive substance is 20 hours. And with this given value, we are to find out that how many number of original nuclei will remain after the time period of 40 hours. So that's the time period for which we are to do the calculation. Now they are not providing us any information about the initial number of nuclei. So here I am going to consider the initial number of nuclei as N0. This N0 represents, so here this N0 represents the initial number of radioactive nuclei. Now as we know, then within the time period of 20 hours, this number of nuclei will remain half of its initial amount. Like if I have started with the value N0, within a time period of 20 hours, that is the half-life period of this radioactive substance, this amount of radioactive nuclei will become half of its initial value, and the final amount will be N0 by 2. If this radioactive substance which has the amount N0 by 2 further goes for the radioactive disintegration, then within a time period of 20 hours, that's the half-life period of this substance, it will again disintegrate and remain half of its initial value. The initial value is N0 by 2 here, and now it will decay half of this, and the left value will be N0 by 4. So here we can see that starting from the amount N0, within a time period of 40 hours, it decays and reduces 1/4 of its initial one, and that is the question, and that is the answer that was asked from us. So the number of original nuclei that will remain after 40 hours will be N0 by 4, or we can say that 1/4 of the initial amount will remain after the time period of 40 hours. Now let's move to the next question. Now, this is the problem that is provided to us, and the given information is again about the half-life period. The half-life period of the sample of uranium is 2.5 into 10 power 5 year, that is given to us. Now, with the help of this half-life period, we are to find out that what will be the time taken to reduce the sample of this radioactive substance 75%, and finally the remaining quantity of this radioactive substance should be 25% of the original amount. Now as we know that if I start with the radioactive substance and the initial amount if I consider as the N0, then within a time period equal to the half-life period of this will remain half of its initial amount. The meaning to say is it will reduce 50% of its initial amount within a time period of half-life period. Now if I am to reduce this again with the value of 50%, now so if again one half-life period let it to be passed, then finally the remaining amount will be N0 by 4, and that is the 25th 5% of the original amount, and the time period that is taken to reduce the amount of radioactive substance to 25% of the original amount is equals to the 2 half-life period. And since the value of 1 half-life period is provided to us 2.5 into 10 power 5 year, so we can conclude that the total time taken in this kind of conversion where the amount of radioactive substance is reduced to 25% of the original amount is equals to 2 times than the half-life period of this radioactive substance. And as the half-life period is 2.5 into 10 power 5, so the final time taken for this is 5 into 10 power 5 years. That is the solution for this question. Now let's move to the another question. Now till the time what the questions we have dealt, in those questions we were provided with the value of T half, and with the help of this T half value we were asked to calculate the total time period required for the given conversion. But in this question, we are asked for the half-life period of this radioactive substance when the thing that is provided to us is the total time, that is 3160 years. And in this time period, the conversion that is going on, that is the radioactive substance is going to reduce 1/4 of the initial amount. So this, if I consider that the initial amount is N0, within a time period equals to this, it's going to reduce 1/4 of this initial, 1/4 of the original amount, and the final amount can be represented as N0/4. Now, as we know that within a 1/2 life period, this radioactive substance reduces to the half of its original amount, and the reduced amount can be expressed by the value N0/2. And within next half-life period, it will reduce again 1/2 of the original amount, and the final amount will be expressed as N0/4. So here we can see that to convert this amount N0 in N0/4, there are two half-life periods. Two half-life periods are required. So here we can see that if this radioactive substance undergoes with two half-lives, it will reduce 1/4 of the original amount, and the time that is required for this kind of conversion is provided to us. It's equals to 3160 years. So from here we can calculate the time period required for one half-life, and this one half-life will be equals to half of this given time period, and this value is equals to 1580 years. So that is the half-life period of this radioactive substance. Now let's move to the another problem. Now here again they have provided us the half-life period of this radioactive isotope of cesium, and this value is equals to 30 years. With the help of this value, we are to find out then within a time period of 120 years, what will be the remaining amount of this radioactive isotope if I start with the initial amount of 1 milligram. Now, as we know that if the initial amount is 1 milligram, then within a time period of 30 years, that is the half-life period of this radioactive substance, it will reduce half of this, and the left amount will be half milligram. If this radioactive substance further goes for the radioactive disintegration, then within a time period of 30 years again, it will reduce half of this amount, and the left value will be 1/4 of the initial amount and half of this 1/2 milligram. So this reduced amount will be 1/4 milligram. Now the time period that is provided us for the change is 120 years, and that includes 4 times of this half-life period. So if this radioactive substance undergoes again for a half-life, then the reduced amount will be half of this original amount, and the left amount will be 1/8 milligram. Now to make the time period 120 years, if we pass this radioactive substance further by a half-life period, then the reduced amount will be 1/16 milligram, and that is 16 times lesser as compared to this initial amount, as the total time period is equals to 4 half-lives, and this 1/16 is equals to 0.0625 into 10⁻³ gram, or it can be represented as 0.0625 milligram. So that will be the final amount of radioactive substance that will remain within a time period of 120 years. So that is about the questions based on the laws of radioactive disintegration. Now further we will be dealing about the radioactive disintegration series.